Once again, welcome to our introduction to the SQL programming language course. We are still in session 5. In this video, we are going to discuss SQL data types. So we saw in our previous video an example where we actually passed in some data types such as integer, such as what they call varchar, or that could even be variable character. We can see here some other popular and other useful data types. The integer, we can see here, has a range. You can see here if you need this particular range, you can use an integer data type. There is a small int which takes up less memory. So integer takes up more memory because the range of numbers is bigger. So if you need that range, obviously integer is your solution, but it can cost you because it can cost you in performance and storage. So a small int may be a better way to go. As you can see here, the range is less, but it takes up less memory. And there's a tiny integer which only goes from 0 to 255. It doesn't contain negative numbers. These two, the int and the small int, allow you to use negative numbers. There's decimal. So if you need some kind of precision and you need decimals, obviously decimal. Numeric can also be a synonym for decimal. A timestamp. We saw an example of a timestamp, and a unique identifier, sometimes called a GUID, is also a different data type. We also saw date as a data type. But for more data types, please consult your learning materials. And I listed here some of the results from our previous demonstration here. So we can take a look at the data types we actually used. For this table, again, we saw integer with a length of 11, varchar here with a length of 255. We can see the date data type, the decimal. So here's an example of the decimal. And then we can see timestamp as well. And date and timestamp are different. And we can see some defaults that go off, again, for this particular column. So there are obviously, just like we just saw, there are more data types. And your data type should be considered for the type of application you need, for the type of data you need. But also, you want to be careful that you don't use something that could take up much more memory than what you need. So you want to pick a data type that allows your application to be as efficient as possible, but still meets all of the requirements. So stay tuned for our next video where we'll actually discuss column constraints.